Gerard versus Evil. Gerard Michaels, my good friend, who God, what a great time this weekend. And of course, let's do this to pretty it up. Boom goes the dynamite. How are you, my man? Talk to me, Goose.
Oh, dude, this is brutal. Are you seeing this news with Charlie Kirk? Obviously, we're living in the age of information, and everybody had their phones out as Charlie was talking, and the footage is gruesome. He's pronounced in critical condition, but it would take a miracle for him to have survived. This is one of the most gruesome things I've ever seen.
Now, am I correct, before I start, because you've seen more of it, thank you so much for taking the time. Like, it seems to me, and maybe I'm starting lies, this is the uptight white guy that Charlie is just there like he is for all his other rallies. He's just going to talk to people, or whatever he's doing, somebody is so worked up, he's just like, this guy's evil, he's a fascist, he's a whatever, and he shot him in the chest? Or am I crazy? Please correct me. I want to be wrong.
Well, they don't know who shot. There's speculation that it was a sniper. It was a rifle from an elevated position. It was a massive event in Utah. It was one of his events, Turning Point USA. He got shot in the neck, not the chest. Yeah, listen, whether you agree or disagree with Charlie Kirk, his Christian messaging, he has never once advocated violence in the advancement of his worldview. Not once. Matter of fact, he has been staunch in advocating that violence is not the answer, something that I cannot say I've been in agreement with.
You're an imperialist. We'll get to that later if there's time.
Yeah. But this is why. I find it increasingly difficult to be reasonable with people who refuse to be reasonable with us. It's harder and harder and harder. And listen, there's a million excuses. Whenever I say something like I'm going to say, nobody ever disagrees with me, but they always explain why it is the way it is, which is nothing more than an admission that it is the way that it is. If you can't...
I'm going to interrupt you one sec. This is something you sent us this guy. Who is this guy that Keanu's about? Keanu, what are we looking at here? And then I'll let him talk. I'm sorry.
To us and said this is the shooter.
This is the shooter?
I don't know.
Can you see this dude?
Yeah. Was it an old white guy in Rachel Maddow glasses?
Yeah.
Rachel Maddow glasses.
I just got that.
I'm sure he'll be a far right wing extremist who is taking out the yeah. Listen, man, we can't heal as a country until we're honest about where we are as a country, and we have a left-wing extremism problem, and it's not been a 1 year, 2 year thing. It's been a 15, 20-year thing. There are entire people who have grown up in their most formative years believing that there are angels and demons walking this earth, that there are perpetual victims and perpetual bullies, and that is all determined by your immutable okay? And you can't tell these over-medicated and underdeveloped people that they're being taken over by Nazis and expect them to behave in any manner other than violently. We put Daniel Penny in jail for a year, forced him to spend how many tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend his freedom.
Now, how many of the people, I'm going to jump in for a sec, how many of the reporters, by the way, Gerard, that covered that called this guy a murderer, in murdering an innocent homeless, how many of them are going to write an article? Why didn't someone step up? And like a lot of people, not like there was anything you could do because this guy, but how many people are going to write an article about that? They're not. But smart people will say, this is why you need heroes like that on the subway. Smart people will say, what the hell is going on in this country where, you just said it, that man spent a year in jail. And smart people will also make the connection, be like, maybe that's why January 6th, I could see the FBI wanting to shut us the fuck up so we don't peacefully protest. Back to you, Gerard.
I don't even know if I can show you this video. I'm trying to hang on. Look at this. Hang on.
My producer. I'm fucking her, Gerard.
Listen, if you put that video up on YouTube, it's going to get taken down. I mean, it's gruesome. It's beyond gruesome.
Are you on YouTube right now, Geno?
Hold on. I'm going to kill the YouTube right now. Hold on, guys. because I don't want to get a strike.
I'm on my YouTube. How do I kill my YouTube?
Oh, okay. Then you're on your YouTube. Thank you. By the way, thank you so much, buddy. All right, we won't put it up.
You got it, pal. Of course.
That's terrific.
I don't. Yeah, guys. This is. I mean, you can go on X. It's all over X.
I'm gonna take a peek while you talk. You talk to me a second. Let me see.
Yeah, dude. Hey, look. I feel so bad for people that were at Chrissy Mayer's live stream. They tune in for Geno. I'm a comedian. I'm very funny, guys. I promise you. I'm normally a very lighthearted guy, but this is brutal, man.
Put it back on me. Put it back on me. I just saw. Oh my God! Like, dude, Keanu, I don't know if I just saw. To quote my wife's act, that was a Tarantino film.
Yeah.
And do you understand? Like, let me tell you something. Shit's gonna change now. Shit's gonna change now because if like a picture's worth 1,000 words, as they say, I just saw it. I just saw it. Oh my God! Do you understand that? Like, people are trying to get rid of guns, and they'll use this. Are you out of your fucking mind? We have to get rid of fucking pharmaceutical shit. We have to fucking stop indoctrinating people. That guy just assassinated Charlie Kirk. I hope I'm wrong, but it's something you see in a fucking horror film.
Yeah, no, that's. Listen, if he survives that, I'm getting baptized tomorrow. That it's gonna take a miracle.
That's the jugular. That's the jugular, wasn't it?
The guy lost. The guy had to lose half a gallon of blood in 30 seconds. Never seen anything gush like that.
Yeah. Gay Bitches thinks he basically died on video. I'm telling you, that is.
It's you know, and again, I mean, it's just a situation where. You know, Geno, I wanted to come on today, tell some jokes, help promote your show Friday, Saturday. You know, when we were on the live stream the other night, I enjoy talking about serious topics, but but this is just, man, between what the Irina situation in Charlotte, and now, to Charlie Kirk, seconds before we come on today, I don't know. Your initial reaction to something like this is anger. Your initial reaction to something like this is to seek revenge and violence. But, we're in a bad place, man. We're in a bad place. And a lot of it comes from people not being able to identify what the true issue is. We're living through a Bolshevik revolution. The communists have been trying to take over this country for 20 years. They have divided us in every possible way they can. They tried to divide us by race. They try to divide us by gender. They try to divide us by sexuality. They divide us by things that we can't choose. They divide us by just the way we're born. And this tribal nature it's never been about sorry about that. It's never been about improvement. Right. It's always been about instability, And here we are in a situation where, again, it feels like we're under attack, doesn't it? It feels like we're being hunted. And then on top of it, it feels like we're being gaslit because if I talk about it, everybody's like, oh, more white supremacy from the far right-wing extremists. I'm a 2002 Democrat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm a Clinton Democrat, man.
I voted for Obama in 2008. I'm like, look. The left.
Yeah. Well, nobody's perfect, Geno.
Come on. What's that?
Yeah. Well, nobody's perfect, Geno.
Yeah, that turned out to be a huge mistake when I look back. But what are you going to do? I never paid attention, and I just felt insulted by the whatever. Go on.
Yeah. Look, you get a chance to vote for the first gay president, you do it. I'm right there with you, man. But but look, I marched against Bush. I never believed in blood for oil. I hated what Donald Rumsfeld was, especially the more you get into the inaccuracies of the whole 9/11 thing and you start questioning, you're like, oh my God, like what happened here? The CIA trained the guy, the pilots, like even whatever you believe, man, have been supporters shooting their gun up and celebrating.
Are you kidding? First of all, it's MSN. It's MS Now, Tosca. Find me if that clip exists. Like,
I'm looking.
How dumb do they think people are? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, dude, there were comments under that clip I sent you of him gushing blood. Them going, I wonder I wonder in his last thoughts if he's still pro Second Amendment. That was like one of the first comments. I mean, there's the humanity that we don't have humanity, and all I hear about from that side is constantly empathy, compassion. It seems like a one-way street. Has Charlie Kirk been announced dead?
Not yet.
I'm looking.
I can't see how he survives it, man.
Yeah.
I just
those responsible will be helpful. But again, yeah, this isn't about guns. It really is just about people that have become indoctrinated to this ridiculousness. Like, I mean, there are so many terrible things going on. That's why people have so much freedom in this country. And again, they call Donald Trump a fascist when what he does is try to decentralize the government. He gives the Board of Education, he puts the power of education back in the hands of each state. Same thing. It's like, oh, gays can't get married. It will always be legal. If you live in New York and New Jersey, you will always be able to give a shit ton of your tax dollars to make sure gays can marry and whores can get abortions. Okay. And I'm I just wanted to say whores is the fun word. Yeah. I'm pro-choice. I really am. I could give two shits. You know what I mean? But yeah. I'm just staying on brand.
That's the way it should be. That's the idea that this whole federalism thing, people that they don't study history, they're doomed to repeat it. So many of the things that we're debating today, they actually talked about in the Federalist Papers when they were forming this country. And the idea is, listen, man, it's hard to move a country, but it's easy to move a state. I did it. The commies took over New York. I was living in Jersey City, working comedy in New York. And finally, I came to the realization, man, it's never going to happen from here. I'm moving backwards. I'm getting more popular, but getting booked less. I'm getting less and less time. I'm not on message. I can cry. I can or I moved. So they got me. It's fight or flight, and I flew, right? So that's the beauty of this country. You could go to Florida, and you could have the life you want to live, or like what happened everybody in California went to Texas. Go ahead.
Oh, Geno, what did you just put up?
I didn't put anything up.
Okay, I'm trying to put this one up. It's your MSNBC thing. Hang on.
Yeah, unless I hit. Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. Like, I'm too stubborn to leave because I'm doing too much like other shit. But I get you, dude. It's like I'm at that fucking whatever the opposite
made, of Geno. Best decision I ever made.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea. But
Jesus Christ.
Okay, if you don't understand, like Gerard, I'm sorry that it sounds like you don't believe in heaven and hell because that guy you're going to hell. Like there's no to talk like that. Like Kirk's family should be able to sue him. And you understand it's double-edged. It's like, oh, that's how dangerous guns are. He probably actually was so happy he accidentally shot someone. No.
I'm sorry my phone keeps blowing up. I got to be on Wi-Fi to do this.
Dude, stay as long as you can. Don't apologize for your sound. Handle your shit. But it's like this is how it's sad. Not that they think we're this stupid, but that people probably actually are stupid enough to be like, yeah, that could happen. Because there's no way, or maybe just the people in charge of reporting are so broken and used to being able to get away with just bald-faced lying, you know what I mean? That this is what they're doing now. Because that might be the dumbest statement I've ever fucking heard.
Well, what it really is it's proof of the dehumanizing propaganda. That this guy just thinks anybody that would go to a TPUSA event is just some rootin' tootin' redneck that's, Yosemite Sam out there shooting off the 6-shooters cause old Charlie Kirk done made him a good point. Have you met anybody at these things? What Turning Point USA is mostly based on is they want to try to convince the younger generation, the college age generation, to be pro-life. They're very pro-life. They're very pro. That's where it's at. Now, then they have their conservative worldviews that are biblically based, and they're welcome to have that, right? You don't see the people that are pro-life and anti-LGBTQ when a Muslim comes, right? When an imam comes on campus, there's not the protests. They don't have to cancel the event. The quote, the left wing, far left wing, call it socialist, call it woke, call it whatever you want. youth in this country has been absolutely weaponized by these angry old school leftists that are they've indoctrinated these people to believe that we're not human beings, that people that disagree with you don't deserve the right to exist in public. You can't have public spaces. No, this is a safe space. No, you can't. I remember what was it? AOC who said when Daniel Penny happened that white people are up in arms because they think they deserve to be safe at all times. This is the United States of America. Everybody deserves to feel safe in public spaces. What type of third bullshit are you talking about? This idea that white privilege is thinking that you deserve safety in public space. No, that's called civilization.
Yeah.
Civilization.
Probably the same people that were probably the same news station. It's like, oh, there were a lot of American flags out. Very aggressive behavior. Aggressive? No, patriotic. Again, if you don't I wore my camouflage to go with this, but I was wearing the American flag headbands all the time. But again, if you don't get how great it is to, every day you wake up in this country, you should be blowing yourself for someone, because there's a 75% chance you could have been born in China or India. 75% of the world lives in those shitholes. If you don't get how great it is here, when we were exiting Afghanistan
I never thought of it like that. That is such a good point.
Yeah.
You're talking about the birth lottery. You're born in the United States of America. What do you got? A 330 out of 8 billion chance? I mean, that's rolling double sixes, man. You're absolutely right. Especially if you're born, even ability here in America is unlike anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
People that have not traveled have no idea. LeBron James has become a billionaire. This is a guy who was born into abstract poverty to a single mother in Akron, Ohio. He is a billionaire today for putting a ball in a hole. Yep. The United States of America has upward mobility, the likes of which nowhere else in the world probably has. So right. And I think what's interesting about those other more than anything else, Charlie, did he die?
No. But your sound goes in and out, but it was really out for a full 30 seconds there. If you could just backtrack 30 seconds and go, because trust me, no one cares about your sound going in and out. This is gold.
I do apologize here, guys. I do apologize.
Well, do not apologize. This is great shit, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time. Don't worry, but what were you just saying again? I'm sorry.
So did you get to the point I made about LeBron James?
Yeah, for putting a ball in a hole.
He became a billionaire. 300 years ago, he would have had to kill 1 million people and become a warlord and take over some sort of Eastern territory in Europe to accomplish that sort of upward mobility, all right? We get paid for what in this generation specifically, we get paid for what service we provide, opposed to how much pain and we can inflict. And we're all, unfortunately, part of this is humanity. Civilization, a couple 100,000 years, the human species, a couple million, right? This is the first time that we're living through forced multiculturalism that has not been the result of conquest and subjugation. In the past, whenever two different cultures, different tribes had to come together under it was because there was conquest, and it was very easy to see. Now we don't have that. Now we're trying to do this kumbaya thing where everybody comes together for some amorphous common good or shared prosperity, and we're all trying to figure this out together. And it's a bumpy road, man.
It's insane. And the other thing about it is, I totally lost my. Oh, again, this is. I'm sorry to sound biased, but this is because the left fuels the dialogue. Another reasons I love that they lost, because they showed no remorse when Trump was. They tried to kill him twice. At least
that we know of.
What's that?
At least that we know of.
Yeah. And whenever they said to these people, these arrogant people, they're like, do you think, well, you keep calling them Hitler. People that are indoctrinated or people that think they're good Americans would, of course, kill Hitler? Do you think we need to tone down? Well, and then they kept saying we need to turn down the temperature on both sides. Fuck you. You need to stop calling Trump Hitler, because Hitler would have loved what Biden did, just doped him up and then just fucking made him into a puppet with the autopene, something we say in this circle. But I mean, the fact that they want to we got to get rid of guns. No, words are more powerful than guns. And it's the words people use to indoctrinate this piece of shit that thinks he's a hero for shootings. And they'll be like, oh, was this gun leak? No one cares, okay? And you can say COVID broke me, but so much of this is pharmaceutical bullshit.
Yeah.
Pharmaceuticals make. And I'm telling you, Dr. McCullough, I'm sure you're familiar with him. He's like, most of these people, he said it he said it to Chrissy once on her show. It's like most of these trans people have a form. And, what do they say to the parents? I want to hear more. They silenced her, the mother of the last shooter. It sounds like she felt obliged to do it, because what do they say? They're like, well, you could have a trans daughter or a dead son. And they do that to control the population. You get the autism, you get those shooters. These people, you get the
$1 million, It's $1 million. It's $1 million. It's $1 million. Now it's over $1 million. The beginning to the end of gender affirming care, the full transition process is over $1 million, fully covered.
Yeah.
If you have insurance. So there's a perverse profit incentive there. And I had Dr. Robert Malone on my show, and I haven't verified or fact checked this, but the he's on top of his stuff. So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. They were the two guys at the head of it, McCullough and Malone. They were the two guys, right? Although the guys that I can't remember their names, because they were the first. Remember the Bakers? I call them the Bakersfield doctors. They were the first to be shut down on YouTube. They're like, you think you know more about COVID than Dr. Fauci? And they calmly go, well, we know more about this strain of COVID because we're working on patients. Well, also, Malone's like, I invented the mRNA vaccine.
Yeah.
I invented it, and we should not. Right? And But anyway, he told me that 100% of recorded school shooters in American history, not 99, not 90, not most, 100%
on meds.
Were on some sort of barbiturate or antidepressant. They were on an SSRI or a barbiturate, whether it's Xanax, Zoloft, and they even now have it on the disclaimer. Those page-and-a-half long side effects may include not just suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts. Yeah. Let's keep prescribing those. But beyond that, Geno, listen. We have to be honest, and there's this left-wing versus right-wing bias, violence is so skewed, and we're gaslit into thinking remember Joe Biden standing up there looking like Darth Vader going, white supremacy is the number one threat to this country. And you're sitting here growing up, where you live in New York. I grew up in New York and New Jersey, and I'm like, fucking, where do you live? I've never driven past a yoga joint and been like, roll up the windows. What are you, out of your fucking mind? Like, do you live in reality? You're sitting here talking all this shit, and nobody even remembers that the dude tried to kill all those Republican congressmen like 10 years ago. They shot at Rand Paul.
At the softball game, right?
That's right. They shot like 8 guys. And then Rand Paul's neighbor tries to kill him in his front yard. These people, I always said this when I was.
It says, I see a couple tweets that say Charlie Kirk has died, assassinated. I don't know.
Charlie Kirk.
By the way, the other guest was supposed to be Rick Monroe. He literally just texted me. I'm not speaking at school. I can't, he's like, I don't think I can yuck it up right now. Not like we're yucking it up, but but I like, it's sickening. It's fucking sickening. Sorry to interrupt you again.
Is that confirmed, Kiki?
I can't. First of all, hi. I can't confirm.
Say hi to my man.
I can't confirm it, but I'm just seeing a couple tweets like that. But I've got my eye on it.
It would be a miracle if he survived, and I'm not trying to be morbid.
I can't see. I don't want to look. You don't look. I'm just a human, man. But from that video, there's just no way. There's no way. Honest to God. Again, just anecdotally, he looked gone as soon as that the blood came out. I mean, that was unreal. I've never seen anything like it. It was gruesome. I almost threw up.
He's got a wife.
Agreed, Joe.
He's got 2 kids, 2 young kids too.
Well, he just had a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you're right, Gerard, because it's like I just get so aggravated at the left, like anyone that had nothing to do with it, that would never, that God forbid it would be is disgusted, if not more disgusted than me by that video we saw. But this is, and it's not the left's fault. I put this squarely on mainstream media. I do. I'm sorry, because they're the ones calling Trump a fascist, calling him a Nazi. They're the ones that literally just had I don't know if it's gall. I don't know if it's pure evil to say, which your versus Gerard versus evil. Love you, Gerard. Just pure evil to say, yeah, it could have been someone celebrating and shooting off a gun. That guy, see, now, if we were the left, I'd get a gun and I'd want to be like, oh, that guy's evil. We need to gun him down.
I'll show you.
That's stupid.
Well, here's the thing, and this is something that I realized towards the end of my tenure in New York comedy, when everybody's always like, why don't you go back? One, I never felt welcome back. 2, I realized that I'm having an intellectual conversation with emotional people. I'm giving them grace they will never give me. I'm giving them like, hey, let's have a conversation and see where we agree and disagree. And all they're hearing is, I hate this guy. He's a Nazi. I hate this guy. He's evil.
Okay. Sorry, just to interrupt. I don't think he is dead yet. Okay, sorry. I think it was just just freaks that are saying it because
I don't think they're freaks. Everyone's
no. Somebody said he lived making the world a worse place. Charlie Kirk has died. Yeah, I think it's like just trolls. Okay, just so you know.
Oh, she's on X looking for it. Back to you, Gerard. I'm sorry, my man.
Yeah, no, it's I remember there was one time I was at the Broadway Comedy Club and there was a very popular.
Quit bragging.
No, I know.
I was in LOL that night. I'm kidding. That's a very good
club. Anybody that knows anything knows I'm not bragging. But we were doing like, I think it was a 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock midnight show. It was like one of those things where we're doing 3. And I'm sitting there back in my whiskey days, Geno, and I'm getting a little bit too drunk. And there was a shooting. And this girl is going off about and all the little bitches that want to fuck her. And in the green room down there in that little rush.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That little Russian bar they got downstairs. They're just agreeing with everything she says. What's up?
Oh, no, nothing. Sorry.
Okay.
Back to you.
And, well, I'll make, long story boring. I got a little bit too drunk and couldn't keep my mouth shut like I normally could, just roll my eyes and walk away. I got a little too drunk and I finally turned to her, and she's, 5'2", 100 pounds. And I go, let me ask you a question. What's the more likely
God damn it.
And everybody starts looking and goes,
Stop. It literally broke up when you said, what's a more likely, and then you got, so watch this. So you said, Mabel, you said, what's a more likely question? Do it again. I'm so sorry, but I got to hear this.
I said, what's a more likely scenario? That I would need a gun to kill you or that you would need a gun to stop me?
Yeah.
And everybody looked at me and was like, dude, that's not cool. I'm like, dude, 200 years ago, I don't like what any of you say. I just smack the shit out of all of you. Take your shit. If you don't like it, I kill you and I throw it over my shoulder and I walk home. Literally, guns stop me from doing that to you. You have the voice you have as a 5', 100-pound woman. You're able to literally talk shit for a living because if people don't like it, a man with a gun will threaten to put me in a box for the rest of my life. You hate all of this, but it empowers your worldview. I think you deserve to have this sort of freedom, and you think I'm the monster because I'm advocating for your freedom. A world without guns, I'm a warlord. Whatever I want. Like, I don't have to, nobody can tell me no ever again.
Yeah. Oh, please. We lost him again.
The box and these people don't understand. These laws are for them, not us. But I say that shit, and they're not having any sort of logical concern or consideration. All they hear is, Gerard is evil. He can't be around me. This isn't a safe space, which is what they told. And then Al was like, hey, man, I can't book you for a while. Everything was weird. People are saying you threatened to kill X, Y, Z. I was like, from that, what they took away from that is that
Well, I'll say this. Well, you're breaking up, so I'll say this just because the other thing is only 20% of America of humans are like apparently capable of critical thinking. He'll be back. Of critical fucking thinking. One of the funny things ever, if I may make a dumb joke, I'm watching the Eagles game because I need them to win by 8.5. And the first play of the game, friggin' Jalen Carter, who, by the way, killed someone in a car accident because he's a drunk driving idiot, spits right on Prescott, gets ejected. And did I tell you this, Gerard? Matt Mead sitting next to me just saw me, he goes like this. The frontal lobe's not developed. They're not capable of critical thinking. He goes, no. He goes, frontal lobe's, he's like, they have no impulse control. Like, he just cost me $330.
Yeah. Well, Dak, in fairness to Jalen, spit first, it turns out. But yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't spit. Yeah, you're right. But the other thing is, like, people don't. I totally lost my train of thought. Back to you, buddy.
No, you're talking about impulse control, man, and and the idea that is it true that 20% of the population is capable of critical thinking?
You can please confirm that, but think about it. It makes sense because it's always the 80-20 rule. 20% of Americans didn't get vaccinated, and you said what reminded me of this is not now, Keith. What reminded me of this, buddy, is the conversation. Fucking I had. Did I put that up? No, take that down. What reminded me of this was the conversation I fucking had during COVID one time, with a guy, like another idiot that I just literally, because they can't think for themselves. And I just say, well, it's natural immunity. And I just think, I'm not saying I'm smarter. I'm not saying I'm smarter than you. I'm older than you. And I have more reps. And I've seen this stuff. It's like, just because I'm saying like natural, when did my friend Geno become a doctor? I'm not a doctor, but you're a fucking idiot. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's a gig I lost because he was like, he worked with the sports sheet. Oh, they're like, yeah, you can't keep pushing back on this shit. And the lies they told, like one of the biggest things I push back on, this is how much fucking the government is evil and run by pharmaceutical bullshit. The thing they did to shut down the Big Ten and the Pac-12, even though it didn't last, they're like, if you get COVID,
you mean that where they had the marching bands with the masks with the slit in it, so they could get they could get the Alto sax in their mouth?
Yeah. I mean, they literally they said, well, this is where it's more the Trump shit where you leave out critical data. Like, well, we have to shut down the league because the study showed if you get COVID, you have 50% chance higher getting myocarditis. And when you looked at like the ellipses in between, if you get COVID or the flu or the rhinovirus, which is the common cold, any of these things, or if you have an immune deficiency, you have 50% higher. But they just said if you get COVID, 50% higher, shut it down. When parents fought back and said, we need our kids to play. We need them to play because only 1% of college students know they're getting drafted. And so they're like, all right, can we see the study? Oh, the study seems to have been taken down. Like the one by the Lancet. It got taken down. By the way, my brother Max Lodes, I should have him said you're spot on, which is a lot of people did. But yeah, that's why you're here, buddy. Go on, man.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you. Well, Geno, to your point, you're a sports guy. I was an athlete once upon a time. We talk about watching film and how analytics have changed the game and how people could use statistics to predict the future and how much money do teams spend in their analytical statistical analysis groups, right? They're quants.
Yeah.
And how many people talk about, well, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, they watch hours and hours of film and they pick up on tendencies. And that's something that they're celebrated for. But when I read the news and I watch history and I pick up on tendencies and I see statistics, all of a sudden I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a racist, maybe an anti-Semite. And it's like, I'm just off the edge. I think we should slide the protection left. Oh, that sounds like a dangerous conspiracy theory. That sounds like dangerous misinformation. No, it's not. This guy's blitzing, man. I've seen it. I've seen the film. We're checking to a hot route. Oh, there you are. Why? Is it because the outside linebacker's black? No, they blitz on this down and distance.
Thank God your phone didn't break up for that. That's gold. That's gold.
That's crazy, right? Like in any other, oh, this guy does his own research. Imagine Tom Brady trying to call an audible, and the offensive line rolling their eyes at him like, oh yeah, what are you, an offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Oh, look who does his own research. Like, what are you, nuts? What are you, crazy?
And it just gets back to what I would say all the time from behind that desk. Like, and it's still one of the, I've said it countless times. Like, I would always say, look, I'm not saying I'm a genius. I said that to Kumi once. He goes, nobody is saying that, Geno. But what I would always say is, like, I'm not saying I'm smarter than you. I'm not saying I'm a scientist. I'm saying I've had more reps than you. That's the same thing with Brady. What are you doing here? You're a second-year offensive lineman. Shut up and trust me on this.
Yeah.
Like, I'll make it about, watch this. Everything's about COVID or the Chargers fucking me.
No doubt.
I'll never forget the Chargers. 1 year, like, they're like, we need a new head coach, and they signed I can't remember his name. He was so short-lived. They signed the fucking Broncos offensive coordinator, whose job was to call a play in fucking when Manning was on Denver and have Manning change it immediately. But every time he changed it to a great play, they're like, we got to get this offensive coordinator. Denver won the Super Bowl. Are you fucking with a noodle-armed guy and a great defense, but we want this offensive coordinator? And it's just a matter of, I've done it longer. And that's one more thing that I can't stress enough about the vaccine. You kill the burdens to society, and one of the people they couldn't kill fast enough, ask Cuomo, was the old people. Because the old people would just sit there and talk common sense, and they had to get rid of them. They had to go first.
That's a very good point.
In Colorado, too, by the way.
What do we got
now? Very good point.
Colorado school shooting?
At least 3 injured shooting in Colorado high school. It was... this was like 10 minutes ago. 3 people were injured, including at least 2 students after shooting unfolded at a high school in Evergreen, Colorado on Wednesday, the Jefferson County Fire Department said. So there you go. So what a terrible day. Not going to be a lot of publicity on that one. But
another wonderful blue state.
Well, yeah, I mean,
is the guy wearing a bunny hat? Go on, what?
Now the conspiracy mind starts saying, is this all to get, the murder of Irina off the news and everybody talking about this girl getting
false flags,
absolutely massacred? Nobody's going to talk about that tomorrow, are they? Right. So now, if you really want to get down the conspiracy tinfoil hat, if that image of
I'm not very political. That doesn't really even sound like a conspiracy. It sounds kind of rational as to why people would do that. Yeah.
I mean, but why would they do?
If you're a Democrat, and you're a Democrat lifer, and you're all in on the Democratic Party as your religion in your life, an image of a dreadlocked black guy overhand knifing down on a pretty little white girl and making her bleed out, basically sticking her like a pig on public transportation is literally the worst imaging for your messaging ever.
It's like, we can't have this. Somebody's got to shoot Charlie Kirk. Yeah, okay.
You want money for public transportation? Who's getting on after that? White people are evil and black people are good. That picture is going to be rough to prove that point. And then all of the messaging after it, the mayor buried the story for 3 weeks. The mayor thanked the media for going along with burying the story for 3 weeks because it would incite racism and violence against the mentally ill and the homeless. Like, every talking point you could have, they failed on every single one. They failed on accountability across the board. So again, not to be a crazy conspiracy theorist, but now all of right-wing Twitter, all of the right-wing media has been talking about Irina. They're not going to be talking about that anymore. They're not going to be talking about that. That's out of the news, man.
I'm telling you, maybe that's, with that, but because the only video I've seen, sadly, in the past 72 hours, more gruesome than what Irina went through, was what this fucking idiot,
Yeah.
What that idiot did that we saw. What are we looking at, babe?
Here he is being arrested.
Pardon?
Yeah, again, man, I hate to be that guy, but it's just how many coincidences over the last 10 years since COVID just happened to all break in the favor of Democrat political messaging. Isn't it crazy that all these coincidences, the world shuts down, You know, when Trump has the greatest economy in American history, the world shuts down. And
well, by the way, did you see what? Speaking of economy, did you see what came out today? The jobs report that the Biden administration literally lied by nearly 1 million jobs.
Yeah.
A million jobs he added to the job report. Well, when I literally had it up on my thing, I'm like, and while I'm reading it, it's like you're like Charlie Kirk got shot because they all lied. They all lied and fucking idiots still believe, like, look how many jobs he added. All the jobs he added were the jobs Trump added. I pray again, Gerard. That's what I was saying. You don't sound that religious, but
they had
I'm praying there's a hell for these people.